What's going on, YouTube? We are here with a bonus episode for this week. We are joined by our mystery guest, Coach. Um, Coach is a prominent Northeast high school coach. Gonna be his first year as a head coach in the Northeast area. So go from like Virginia up and like Ohio to the west. So anywhere in there. So if anyone recognizes him, sorry about that. Um, But yeah, so we're here to break down some of the week one film, get some of the X's and O's perspective that I can't always offer, and just get into it. So, Coach, thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me here. It's an honor to be on here. I don't like the fact that you laughed when you said prominent, but I appreciate the appreciative vocabulary. So
Yeah, yeah, we talked about a month ago with the XFL. We actually were able to connect only a few years ago because of the XFL. That really
XFL builds relationships, man.
yeah,
I
it's a
mean,
relationship business, as we always say. Shout out JB.
gotcha.
Um, yeah, so I figured maybe we can just start with this. We'll get into the games, but just what did you think about the overall product of the XFL? I know you watched some games more than others, but just what was your feel on the weekend?
Well, I mean, 3 out of the 4 of the games were extremely exciting conclusions.
Yeah.
So I gotta think that is a big win for the XFL. And I also thought, like, just watching the games, like those guys are playing hard, like, and it's like decent quality football from what you're seeing. Like skill players are making tremendous plays. There was some good overall line play I saw.
Mm.
I think definitely, like, not that this is a surprise or anything, but we got some pretty bad quarterback play. I thought overall. And like, I don't think you left this week necessarily like really feeling good about one particular quarterback.
I
Um,
actually disagree, but we'll talk.
Really? Okay, well, we'll get into that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I just remember from week one of 2020's XFL, I left thinking like PJ Walker was
yeah,
excellent. Teamu
yeah.
was excellent. And I don't think I ever really left like with a complete game of like, wow, that was really solid quarterback play.
That's fair.
Um, and I think there was definitely some things that you could be like really happy about, but I thought there's a lot of inconsistencies
Yeah,
throughout.
yeah.
So, but
No, I
yeah,
agree. The inconsistent.
yeah.
I agree it was inconsistent, and also like the thing that's tough about like I was like previewing all these teams and all, and like reading up on it. Like the reason why these guys in the leagues they don't have film, like they haven't played. Either like they played in college, but they played like 6 years, or they played in the NFL, but they got like practice squad or maybe a preseason. So it's like you're trying to figure out what guys are, and these guys haven't played, and like even the better quarterbacks haven't played that much football. Like Jordan Taum, who's like a spring league vet, played 5 games in the XFL. He played 10 games in the USFL, and then like one game now. That's in 4 years. He's played like what 13 games, whatever that is, 15.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just I think that will get a lot. I think the quarterback play will actually step up a lot, and the
Yeah,
guys.
you would think so for sure. And then I don't want to get too into the specifics here, just as my general overview. But
Yeah,
that's my next point. Like, you would expect like these things to
yeah,
improve, or like some of the mistakes that they're making to
yeah,
improve. But
yeah,
yeah, I just like left a little bit disappointed in that area. But a lot of other good things to highlight here.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
Let's get into it. We'll get into the first game. Do you want stats up or not for the first game? The
I
Vikings.
don't think so. If I need
All right,
something, I'll let you
all
know.
right.
Exactly.
I have
Yeah,
it if we
we
need
were
it.
talking in the what do they call it? The trickle in portion of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit in the trickling, so some of our viewers definitely heard it there. But yeah, a little bit disappointed with like especially the app and finding stats and
Yeah, oh,
everything.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
That
you
was
would think
annoying.
it'd be easier to find, but anyways, yeah, here are my notes just from now. This is the game I actually kind of sat down and watched a decent
Yeah,
portion of it.
right.
Most of these I'm just watching like the 15-minute highlights of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, right.
So I don't have any all 22 access here for this
Yeah,
bad
right,
boy.
right.
But yeah, I liked honestly, like I thought what I saw out of Perez in the first half was like
Yeah. First half.
decently impressive,
He's not bad.
to be
He's solid.
honest. Like he was able on both those touchdowns in this first half, he was able to extend plays,
Yeah.
keep the play moving with his legs here. Uh that second touchdown I thought was a decent read and play design versus middle of the field close coverage.
Right, right.
They're in that three deep shell.
Oh, the one where it goes like, yeah, yeah, that was a good play.
And
I was
that
trying to think of
safety gives up a lot of ground there
yeah,
because if you're playing, I don't know what they're playing, but if you're playing like a spot drop cover 3 there, like is that corner carrying that first post over?
yeah.
Because he kind of comes down on that, or sorry, stays up on that, and that dude has a nice hole right there, and that's a touchdown right there. But I thought like now I didn't realize this. I actually just saw this. Did you know that Huntley's their starting quarterback?
He's not. Oh, he is now this week.
Yeah, well, I think so. They signed him apparently a couple
I knew
weeks
that.
ago.
Well, I knew.
He-
Yeah, so I knew they signed him too because what's his name? Brian Scott from the Stars. Remember him?
yeah.
That dude. He was there. They signed him, and then he got cut when they signed Hundley.
Wow.
Yeah, because they
Wasn't
were
he
like
the MVP of the USFL?
Brian Scott. No, you're thinking. I don't know who they get him in. Brian Scott got hurt like week 3.
That's right.
He
Okay.
was,
And
and
then
then
Cookus
Cook
came
is.
in, right?
Yeah. But yeah, yeah, I'd heard that's what I'd heard online actually that like they brought Hundley in to start. That's why I was so surprised that Perez got the start. But yeah, so Hundley, that'll be interesting. I don't know. I left the first half. I agree. Perez looked good. I think the offense looks solid. Like they have some playmakers. I think what he does well is he's pretty mobile. Like he's pretty mobile, even not even like super fast outside the pocket. But I think he is pretty quick in the pocket, like just like making shifting a little bit and like getting to some of those open guys. I feel like he's just never gonna wow me. I'm not. It's not a hate. He's pretty good. Like he played pretty well. I don't know. He never wows me, and those second half interceptions were bad.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm ready to kind of
Yeah,
dive into that
yeah.
here. But I think just like once they kind of started putting the pressure on him, like they're for their first sacks they had, it was just a double B gap blitz. It looked like where both linebackers came in kind of scot free, kind of just took that there. Was no, I guess, hot read there.
Yeah,
That first pick six, I don't think you saw that. That was a
yeah,
design screen.
yeah.
Excuse me. That was a design screen. I just don't think he saw that guy come in. But yeah, bad mistake. And then that second pick six he had, they just got pressured immediately
Yeah,
off of that. Well, not immediately, but that was a
like
nice chop and rip by that D tackle
yeah,
to come in and make that pressure. But yeah, kind of sell that ball a little bit. Tough one. You willing to see that. The Renegades played a little bit of mix of man and zone principles and blitz pretty tastefully. I thought the blitzes hit home pretty well.
yeah. They
Um,
got good pressure.
Man, I was underwhelmed by their offense.
Yeah. All right. Let's. All right. So they have Kyle Sloter. You might not remember. He was on the New Orleans Breakers. New Orleans. Yeah, I couldn't remember. But they're in the USFL. He was all USFL. I think he got hurt later in the year. He might still be hurt. I heard. I don't know if that's why he's not starting. But he was like pretty solid. Like he's a pretty big dude, pretty fast. Like I don't know. Like he's a pretty good spring quarterback. And they put in Drew Plitt, who I don't know much about. I think I rated him I don't know my notes right here. I thought I did. I rated him as one of the worst quarterbacks I looked at, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
he offers nothing. Like maybe he's fine. He wasn't a terrible game manager, I guess. Like he didn't give the game away too much, but like, dude, I don't know. I would have tried something. They had no
They
offensive. They have a single offensive touchdown. No, right?
no, all offensive touchdowns were scored. I mean, all touchdowns period were scored. The Vipers were on offense. Like even the Renegades touchdowns were scored
Yeah,
on
it's true.
offense.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
they had a 2 point or they had a 1 point conversion. Like, why are you going for 1 point conversions? Just it's on the 2 yard line, right?
Yeah, 2, 5, and 10. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going for two probably every
yeah.
series
I
now,
think
right?
most coaches go for 2. It seems like the
Yeah.
best way.
But like even when they were lining up an unbalanced 22 personnel, so unbalanced lineman on one side, two tight ends, a fullback and running back, they couldn't run the ball well if with consistency. So
Yeah, that
yeah,
was.
that's going to be something going forward with them that I think is going to be interesting to monitor here. Like, will that guy improve? Like,
I
can
will.
they do
Yeah, I wonder if
can
they
they
make
do
the
something
change.
well with consistency? It's going to be an interesting season for them. And if I had like a water gun in my head right now, I would be looking at them to like not really be consistently competitive week
Yeah,
in week out. If you just can't really do too much.
Yeah, I think they'll make the switch to Slaughter, who I think is going to be better. I'm not saying he'll fix their problems. They have a good coach too. Bob Stoops was like an offensive dude at Oklahoma. They scored like 50 a game. Coach like Sam Bradford, I think. I think he was Sam Bradford's coach. Coached some other he coached the national. Like they were all offensive teams. Like so, I was a little just surprised too that they didn't do that. Yeah, I'll talk a little bit just about like them, like their outlook. I think.
Oh, hold on
Look
a second. Okay, really quickly too. What did you think about that final drive? Even with the Vipers' final drive, like Perez made some great plays. That I forget it now, but that one play where he dropped the snap, recovered,
Yeah.
threw it right into the hole of that. I think it was a four deep
Yeah.
shell.
Yeah.
That was impressive, man. Like way to hang in there. But then like just another brain fart. It looked like on that
Oh,
2 point
on 2 point.
conversion.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
steps right in the nose. You know,
Yeah.
so
They'll be solid. He'll be solid. I mean, who knows what they'll do? Like Huntley, that's the thing about Huntley. Like he played in the NFL, but like dude hasn't played in a while. Like, and he wasn't like, I don't know. We'll see. But I think Perez like his I think he's better. He probably deserves to start somewhere in the XFL, whether it's with the Renegades or not. But
yeah,
I have nothing against him. He's probably a middle of the pack quarterback for the XFL, like top three, maybe top three, I would say, if I had to think right now. But yeah, nothing. We'll see. I think they'll
now,
be
if I remember correctly, I thought this dude, I think he had an appearance. I think he like
Huntley.
was in camp for the Eagles.
Huntley.
No, Perez.
Perez. He might
Yeah,
have been in camp. Yeah.
he was in 2019. He was in camp with the Eagles.
Wow. Was he which camp though? Was it like off season camp? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember.
camp is very loose word with like
Yeah, I mean, at
with like
least an NFL team said this guy
no, he can
could
play.
be on this field.
He's not. Yeah, he's not nothing. I don't think he's like a bad, awful. Let's see. I'll go to the Eagles real quick. I'll go to Wikipedia. He was on the team. Oh, he was in the AAF. That's right. He was on the Eagles for a month and 4 days,
Nice.
from April 19th or April 9th to May 13th. So yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna keep moving. We'll go to the next game. This game was pretty brutal.
Yeah, this was the
Mets
game.
Guardians.
I honestly don't really have many notes in this game.
Yeah,
I thought from what I remembered, yeah, I don't know. I just remember watching, being really uninspired by Orlando's quarterback play with Paxton Lynch. I mean, what are we doing trying to make Paxton Lynch work now?
that's what I said. Like,
You
I
know,
don't know anything about him. Like, maybe he's a good dude. I don't know, but like, dude, just it doesn't happen. He didn't
I
have
don't. I don't
the
even think he like because I remember in Denver when he got drafted there, the main hit on him was like he didn't work very hard.
maybe. Yeah, I don't. That's right. I knew there was something. I couldn't
Listen, I'm
remember.
not, I'm sitting on my couch right now. I'm not going to throw
Sure,
Paxton Lynch under the bus completely as a dude, but
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the only thing I remember also, like, I wasn't impressed by Brandon Silvers, really, to be honest with you.
Uh-huh.
I thought, like, the touchdown to Burnett, I mean, he put it in a spot, but I thought that's more on Burnett going on, making a play.
Yeah.
And then there are other vertical route that he hit. Um, I thought he kind of overthrew that one. The receiver
Oh, kind of dope.
outstretched
Yeah.
his hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I know what you're talking about.
So I wasn't really that impressed by Silvers, really. And his two picks were
They
awful.
were bad.
They
Yeah.
were
Well,
bad,
I
man.
like so I hadn't seen them, and we were talking. I think Sunday or maybe yeah, I think Sunday, and you were like, "Oh, those picks are bad." And I hadn't seen the picks. I think I went to bed before the second half started,
Yeah.
and I watched again, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, these picks are bad."
I mean, like the first one he threw right into a robber. Safety
Yeah,
came down, the overhang switched
yeah,
coverage responsibilities. Like, it's designed to look like something that's not. But then
yeah,
the second one, it looks like he just kind of threw it right to the linebacker and like
yeah,
that low seam. Like,
yeah. He's
so like to
yeah,
see some more. For what I remember, I thought the running game was pretty solid. That Backlin's he had some juice. It looks like they were able to move some guys around up front too, and pull some dudes from what I remember.
let's see.
So maybe that could be a consistency. And like, you got NFL talent, well, quote unquote NFL talent. Deontay Burnett played for the Eagles for a decent bit. Remember that year when everyone got hurt in the
Oh
playoffs and
yeah,
yeah, he was one of the guys that Wentz was throwing to. I mean, not consistently, but like,
yeah,
he
yeah,
has experience under his belt. So
yeah. I left that game, so I looked at I forget what site it was. We're not sponsored by DraftKings, but I always use DraftKings, so maybe they'll sponsor me. But
yes.
some other website, I saw had the Roughnecks as the title favorite after that game, and I feel like that was just people like not watching the game and seeing that they won by a bunch of points and being like, "Oh, they're gonna win. Like they're good. Like they're fine. Like they'll compete. Like they'll probably be a playoff team. I think they'll definitely be a playoff team." But like they beat the Guardians, who don't have a real quarterback. They don't have an XFL quarterback. Never mind like a guy who could be. They don't have an XFL quarterback, and like yeah, like I think they just like are getting gassed up. I think they're good. And like I think next week against Arlington will actually be interesting with a little bit of a better like a real team. I think Silver's is gonna look a lot worse than people think he is. Um the Guardians, I have no idea. I don't know what to do with that team. They probably should have invested some resources in a quarterback.
Yeah. Are
But
there are trades allowed in this league, right?
I presume, yeah,
All
teams
right.
trading off season. There have been. Quentin Dormady was their backup, who I haven't even heard of. I only know him from this.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember much from him coming in. I
He
just
was,
remember
I
looking
mean,
at the stats. He threw a few picks, didn't he?
yeah, but like I was saying, I don't put that on him as much. Like your team's
Sure.
down by like 30 points. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying he was perfect, but
Yeah. I remember looking at their completion percentages. Not that that's an all-tell stat, but like they were actually pretty high, I remember.
the Guardians,
Yeah.
well, they threw a lot of checkdowns and stuff too.
Right.
Like
Listen,
they're
man, I mean, like, at least that's, I mean, listen, in the XFL right now, the first week, like, you'll take checkdowns as long as you're
yeah,
not turning the ball over and making mistakes. But,
sure, but there's different check down. I think there's checkdowns and then there's like short passes. Like there's like short passes where it's like you're not driving the ball downfield, but like you're getting guys the ball where place where they can make plays. Like a lot of teams do that and it works. Like I don't like I think that's different than just like I don't know. I feel like a lot of their throws were just like guys who had no chance of making a play on the ball. Like I don't know, but
yeah.
I don't know who I forget. They play. I'll look at the schedule.
All right, let's move on from this
Yeah.
game.
The next craziest game I was
Yeah.
losing the St. Louis San Antonio game was
I cannot believe St. Louis pulled this one out, man.
it
I
was
was watching the highlights of this game. I didn't catch this one live at
right,
all. Um, but man, like San Antonio dominated for like
dominating.
58 minutes,
Yeah,
dominated the game. Both
yeah,
sides of the ball, I thought up front, like they created pressure. They were outstanding in the run game, man.
they were running the ball
Like,
well or
and I
shot
think
well.
that's what I really want to talk about first to get started. What's the running back's name? I forget his name, but he was in the NFL at
Who?
one point.
Who?
That the San Antonio's running back.
Give me
It's
a
a
sec.
physical runner, a physical and smart runner, man. That dude read where the holds were, ran, put his shoulder down,
Kalen
ran
Ballage.
through guys. They ran split zone pretty well a couple times. I didn't see much movement, but they lined up their tight ends also and got some movement from their tight ends. Like they're a physical football team. Um, and like even their quarterback, I thought like first off, that was a clean game by both sides. Like not that
That was
many
the
turnovers.
the line was a little. He got rocked a few times. Cone.
He did get rocked a few times. He
He
did get
fumbled.
rocked a few times. And they gave him that strip sack too.
Yeah,
Um,
a lot of pressure.
a lot of pressure. He stood in there though.
No, he's
Made
tough.
some
I actually liked him. I'm not a Notre Dame guy, but like he's a Notre Dame quarterback. He went to Wisconsin and then Notre Dame.
okay.
He's a tough dude. Like he took a lot of big hits. Like didn't look phased. Like he didn't make every throw, but like he didn't look like rattled. I don't know. I liked him.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, it also comes down to like missed opportunities. Like at the end of the day, like I don't know if you saw the end of the first half, but they faked spiked it and almost threw a fade. You just dropped it.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, he had some heat on him, but like just
Yeah.
dropped it and then they missed a field goal. Like, you
Yeah,
know,
that's right. That's right. I did see that.
things would be different if that didn't happen. But yeah, like their pass protection looked bad. Their tackle, they got to figure out the right side of that line. Their right
Yeah.
tackle, he got beat in that strip sack. Got beat off the ball. Just plain and simple. Dude just ran around him. And then I think they benched him. I didn't watch the full game, but then they benched him. And then
I didn't notice, but they might have.
the end of the game, another dude came in and got beat again on that side. So that's something to monitor. But at least they were able to move guys off the ball in the run game.
Yeah, they ran
Uh,
the ball pretty well.
it seems. Uh, yeah, the Brahmas. Can you explain to me the Brahmas, please? I don't understand the
The
name.
name?
Yeah.
It's something with the rock. It's like a bull. I don't know. I asked some of my WWE fan
Okay.
friends, whatever, and they were like, "It's something with the rock. He's a bull tattoo called a Brahma." I don't know, man. It's something with
Okay.
the rock.
Um, yeah, but
Also,
anyways, like even like that quarterback, fourth quarter when they scored their final touchdown, they lined up out of trips and just took number 3 and ran a wheel with them, hit him in
yeah,
stride, perfect pass. Like,
he's solid.
yeah, I
He's better
was
than I
really,
thought.
really impressed by that one. And then even after that, the Battlehawks at the ball back have a 40-yard run at a hill. They line up at the nasty slot, which just a tight end and receiver on the edge here. They get some sort of edge on that too, but then he makes a nice cut up there for 40 yards. They missed the field goal off of that. And then you're
Yeah.
thinking there, like 10 minutes in the fourth quarter, like this game's basically over. But then,
So I think they had 100 yards, or maybe I think up to before that, like drive where they scored their first touchdown, like yeah, their first touchdown of the game. I think they had like 70. They had 100 yards total, I think, in the game, and they drove 71 yards to score that touchdown. To your
yeah,
point, like they had nothing going. Like they looked bad,
yeah.
and
That
AJ McCarron looked bad. until like the fourth quarter.
Like he looked bad, but listen, the number one thing with him is at least you're gonna get a guy who's like confident in himself,
Sure.
a guy who's like not gonna be shaken by much, and like it showed in that final drive there, man. Like he's a
Yeah.
mentally tough quarterback. He's gonna come out and like take what you're gonna give him. Um,
Yeah.
and like I thought that was shown, and then like touchdown with Butler was nice that he had. They were in the red zone. Looks
Yeah.
like they were playing some sort of four deep shell. That corner sat on the curl route, which gave him some space.
Yeah.
Hakeem Butler, the tight end, well, former tight end in the NFL, actually. He's
Ah.
another former Eagle.
Ah.
But like little space there, 6'6" dude, just come up and get it, which he
Yeah.
did. That was nice. And how good
3 points.
was that 4th and 15 throw, man?
Yeah, that Austin Prohl, dude. That dude had the 2 touchdowns for the Dragons in week 1 of the
I remember,
2020
yeah, I
XFL.
distinctly
That's
remember
that
that
dude.
game.
His dad's the wideout coach for the.
Yep.
That was fun. That was
Yeah,
really
that was cool to
yeah.
see. That was, I didn't see in the back end really what happened there. I just saw roll out to his left on the run, perfect throw.
Yeah,
Like had a little space there. That was nice. I mean, that just shows kind of the experience of AJ
yeah.
McCarron. Like that dude started a playoff game in the
And dude,
NFL.
also, even forgetting that, like some of these guys aren't as accomplished in college. Like he won a national championship. He was the
Two of
best.
them, I think.
I don't. Yeah, I know he won 2. Was he starter for both of them?
I don't know, but still, I mean, like,
Yeah, but I mean, he started a national. He was the best quarterback in the country.
yeah,
In Alabama. Like he's not scared of San Antonio. Like no offense, but like he's not scared of this.
yeah. I mean, exactly. Yeah, he's not scared of the XFL. I mean, like that dude was playing against the Steelers defense.
Yeah,
So,
and he was fine. He was like fine in that game. I feel like too.
I'll tell you what, not being scared, like they weren't just letting him sit back and throw on that final drive. They set dudes. They got that roughing the passer call.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
big. That was a
but
huge
he
one.
stood in when he needed to. He stepped out when he needed to. Totally
Yeah,
unfazed.
he
And
meant that's the thing that like I noticed watching you. We talk about like you watch some of these guys, like mostly him, but some of the other guys who are NFL guys, like they just like manage the pocket so well, which like isn't something you take it for granted kind of watch NFL games because they all do it pretty well. Like some guys are better at than others, obviously, but like they're mostly in the same level. Like you watch some of these guys who like AJ McCarron, like he was missing some throws he should have made early on. Like he was getting pressured somebody just overthrew, but like he knows exactly where to be, he knows where the ball's supposed to go 99% of the time. Like there's just a different thing. I'm not saying he should be in the NFL as a starter or anything, but like you can like there's just a different level that he plays at compared to some of these other guys, I think.
sure, yeah. Even that touchdown too, that final touchdown he had was really sad.
Yeah, yeah, like
I
yeah,
thought.
like
I
the
mean,
ball. Yeah,
that was just like
great. Hold on, did you cut out? Is that you or me? Uh-oh.
not in a position to come down and make a play there. But yeah, just really impressive read. That's just like, that's just take what the defense gives you and knowing exactly when the ball needs to be delivered.
Yeah,
A second too early, the linebacker make a play, a second too late, that safety's there to maybe come down and have some more time on that. But yeah, great finish
yeah.
from that. So,
Um,
and then final play of the game, right side, right tackle, gets
yeah,
beat again,
yeah,
and then game over.
yeah.
So
One thing that's crazy. Well, I don't want to talk hard finish when I get to the final game, which was really interesting too. The Battlehawks only had 2 sacks, which seems like they got more pressure than that. But it's just funny, like if you only look at the stats, you'd say, oh, they gave up 2 sacks, but like it wasn't that pretty even.
Well, yeah, I agree. I think a part of that is that quarterback knowing,
Yeah, when the ball go, yeah.
knowing when to get it out, knowing who to get it to. And like before the strip sack, the only strip sack,
Yeah.
he gets absolutely pummeled
Yeah.
and still gets a completion off of that.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I'm excited. I liked him. Good to see some juice. I think like, if you're a diehard San Antonio fan, like that one was really, really tough. We'll see how they bounce back, but there are some good things at least that you can build on. Like you could run the ball really well. You have a quarterback who looks like he's not afraid in the pocket. You just got to finish. You got to finish. And I'm excited to see how they rebound from that one.
Yeah. Last game of the night, 2 of the quarterbacks that we've kind of alluded to this one a little bit as our like overall thoughts. The Sea Dragons and Defenders. Defenders winning 22-18. we'll get it. Let's just get into what we would talk about. I think probably the two guys who we want to talk. There's probably three guys I want to talk about in this game. We'll go with Jordan Ta'amu first. Jordan Ta'amu was the first guy.
Okay, man.
Yeah,
When picking my fandom for this league, I was like, man, like I think it's time. Like Ta'amu comes out, he's consistently played well in every spring league he's in. He was on the Chiefs practice squad. I mean, listen, that's just a practice squad, but like for a full year,
practice squad's legit. Yeah,
yeah, it's legit. Like Andy Reid at least had some confidence in him.
Yeah.
So, and then he came out, man, and like he looked bad, man. Like,
he looked bad.
and here's my whole thing. So the first touchdown they had was a rushing touchdown, right?
Yep.
It was an off-tackle lead play for Ta'amu.
Yep.
Ta'amu's the fastest guy in the world, but he's athletic.
He's pretty fast.
He's decent speed.
He's quick.
But like,
He's got good speed for a quarterback. I feel like I don't know. He runs
what? Now you know me. What am I going to complain about? Do you think with the defender's offense?
Something about the line. I don't know.
Not about the line here. It's about the fact that Ta'amu threw 19 balls in total.
Yeah.
And they took him out to put in this other quarterback, De'Aaron King. You see him at all?
Yeah.
And they have packages for this guy, this quarterback. You know what I'm talking about here?
Yeah. Diehards King. Yeah.
Yeah. So they have packages for him. And it's like, man, like you don't need to run these packages for this guy. He's 5'9", first off. I'll say it one more time. He's 5'9". Okay.
See, we're gonna disagree on this.
What's up?
We're gonna disagree on this actually.
Okay, nice. But he's 5'9". The one touchdown he had was beautiful on the goal line. It was a QB counter, which is a great play to run. The hole was wide open though. Like you could have Ta'amu going through that. Like you have a guy who's succeeded at every semi-professional level he's been at now. Like your best shot at a championship here to win football games is not with this guy. Like you got to get him. You got to get Ta'amu in rhythm, which he's not right now. He wasn't the entire game. That pick he threw was horrendous. And I just don't think, especially when you're getting killed in time of possession, like, do we really need to make that work? So I thought that was just definitely a really ugly game on offense that they had for them. But before we get to the other thing too, I thought Greg Williams, their defensive coordinator, called an aggressive game. The first drive, he blitzed pretty frequently, and DiNucci felt comfortable going back there, replaced the blitzers, found weaknesses in the defense. But then they did a nice job of disguising coverages throughout the game, which led to their pick six. Thought that was good stuff right there. Now, what were you gonna say about our argument?
Yeah, I actually like sorry. I'll explain what I'm doing after. We gotta talk offline. It's nothing big, but just
okay.
Give me 1 second. Sorry.
Oh, I also thought I wrote this down here, but I thought maybe that the Dragons, I don't know, I was kind of pretty vague on this one. The Dragons were able to move guys and pull and create some leverage in the run game in some critical situations. Second touchdown was nice work up front. It looks like they had I don't know what the tackle was doing, but the tackle was able to sort of like rip and run, go around, seal the edge there. That was pretty impressive.
Back also.
Yeah, not what I expected from them really with that.
Yeah.
So what were you gonna say?
So, all right. So you're not as deep in the USFL as I am, fortunately or unfortunately. And I was thinking about the New Jersey Generals, who were the best team in the North Division, East Division, whatever it was, whose stars did beat, and they had two quarterbacks. They mostly ran Luis Perez out there, but they had DeAndre Johnson, last chance U alum.
Right.
They had him like kind of in that De'Aaron King package. And I think if Ta'amu's not going to play that well, I don't mind it. Listen, I'm a Ta'amu defender through and through. I don't think I wouldn't play him as much as they played him, but I might give him a couple snaps early. Why not? I think,
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the stats right here.
Yeah.
8 for 14 rushing the ball, 1 for 2 passing. And listen, like King,
he had a run called back. To be fair, he had a big run called back, like a
okay.
Play. So
okay, I didn't see that one, but
yeah.
And like, listen, it's a gadget stuff. King, I remember from Houston was like really open to doing different things, including like even receiving and catching the ball, which I think could be useful. I'm just not that big of a fan of stuff like that, especially when you have a dude here who I think can throw the ball. And I just think like This is another game they should have lost. The defenders
Yeah,
probably should have lost that game. I mean, credit to them. Their defense was able to disguise some things, like I said.
yeah,
Um, and they have a great home field advantage.
yeah. That's if
So,
that game's in Seattle, I think Seattle wins.
but man, like Danucci's off schedule stuff was better than his
On
just like
that's
normal sit
when you
back and read
yeah
stuff.
when you watch. I said I forget when I did that Monday or Tuesday. Like when he's out of the pocket, like he can make like every throw too. Like he can make all his ball comes out like better than a lot of other guys. Like
Right.
actually,
Even that the touchdown the first drive that
was
Gordon was like
goofy. It was
that
goofy.
it was goofy as hell, but like, hey man, like,
He
he
I
made it
saw
work.
I saw someone say it, which is funny, but like it's kind of true. Like he's like kind of the Mahomes of like the X, like kind of Mahomesian.
Oh no. I mean, I
No,
guess in his
no,
ways that he can
in
make
the
plays,
context,
but
I
he's a
know.
disaster, man, waiting to happen, I feel like, right?
Well,
Like,
he's the guy who's gonna throw 5 touchdowns or he's gonna throw 3 picks. Like
yeah.
it's gonna be both. He gets out of the. He was both. There was a one play. It was like the third quarter. I watched on repeat. It was like a second down. It wasn't like a big play in the game, but like there wasn't that much pressure. Like he had time, and like in a second he just ran out of the pocket. And, like didn't have anything. Like missed some throw. Like he's got to stay in the pocket. Like he just has
Yeah.
to stay in the pocket. I think if he stays in the pocket. Also, Josh Gordon still looks insane. By the
Yeah,
way,
Josh Gordon's a beast.
he
I
like
mean, you honestly could just like throw it up to him and just see
that's
how
what they did a
he
lot.
play. Yeah.
That's a lot of
I
play.
think they did it in the final drive too. I mean, he
It
was just
worked.
screaming around and then threw it up there, and then Gordon just came down with it.
Well, like
Yeah, what did you think of that final play call there? Danucci option.
yeah. Listen, I'm a big Danucci guy. I thought that was ridiculous. Um,
I'll say this, man, and like I think Danucci, he can be
yeah.
successful. I think I was there in 2020 when at that Eagles
I
Cowboys
mean,
game,
sure,
dude. That he was the worst quarterback I've ever seen play, man. The worst quarterback
sure. You're
I've ever
forgetting
seen
that these
play.
dudes, yeah. It's hard to separate because we've seen him play in the
I
NFL.
know, yo, he threw 50 balls this game, man.
Yeah, 54.
54.
That's too many. Yeah, that's what I said. And I mean, they didn't run the ball well at all. No one ran. Not that many teams ran the ball as well as I would have hoped. I think
Well,
that
I disagree. I mean, I thought they did some things that were worthy.
Seattle.
No, I mean, like, listen, there's no eye-popping numbers. I definitely think, but like the fact that you could see at least some like line movements and people were able to hit plays off of
That's fair.
that, at least is something nice
Yeah,
to build at. Like, yeah, you're not looking at like 100-yard rushers right now for
yeah,
sure. And like the defenses are always right now going to be ahead of the offenses, but like I definitely think there's some good things to build off of in the run game,
yeah,
for some of the teams for sure. Shout out to Raquel Armstead as well, Temple alum. That
yeah,
dude runs hard.
yeah,
Love to see some more stuff for him.
yeah. All right, we'll get into. So I'm not sure if you had a chance to watch it yet. Give me 1 second to make sure my tabs are clean. We'll just talk about this quick. We'll talk about tonight's game coming up. Um, we got St. Louis at Seattle. Seattle, I got this game at, I mean, not got. The line I had it at when I recorded was at Seattle -2.5. I said I think Seattle's going to win, and I bet they cover that. I didn't make it my best bet, so I'm not super confident. What are your thoughts on that tonight?
Um, First off, both those teams played on Sunday.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a short week, which is weird.
That's crazy,
It's a
especially for. I mean, I guess if your Battlehawks are just, I mean, they're just in Texas, so I guess, but I mean, still, it's a pretty far way to go.
Yeah, that's why I'm also picking Seattle because they both have a short week, but at least Seattle's going back home, like in their
Yeah,
first home game in 3 years. Like I'm not saying it'll be full, but like they had good attendance in
yeah,
2020.
they'll have a good fan
They'll have a
base out
good
there.
12, 15,000 people minimum.
I mean, especially St. Louis coming off an emotional victory and
Yeah,
Seattle
that's
coming off an
that's what I'm
emotional
saying. Like
loss.
I think people saw that game and thought like, oh, like I don't know. That line was crazy. And I think people picking the Roughnecks by 4 is crazy. I think they'll win, but I think they're gonna struggle against Arlington.
Um, so you're betting? Yeah,
It seems
I actually think Houston can cover that. To be honest with you,
I'd be shocked. I don't know if they can score enough points. I don't
okay,
know.
but I also think the Renegades aren't going to score that much
No, that's
points.
I think it could be like a 10-6. I guess, yeah, as I say it. It could I mean it's not my best bet. I'm not super confident in that. That'd be kind
Yeah,
of a swing. But like
I listen just off of what my eyes saw when I
yeah,
watched those highlights with the Roughnecks. I think definitely they can do some things in the running game to
yeah,
to sort of
I
put
think
that
I
lead.
need to see them play a real team.
Right.
That's the
Right.
only thing. I
Sorry.
mean, they're probably going to be the playoff team. They'll probably win the South Division. They'll probably make the championship. But like, I need to see them play someone real. And until then, I'm not gonna. I'm buying them, but I'm not like.
Yeah. This Defenders Vipers game, I think it's gonna be really interesting.
Yeah, I think DC is going to win that pretty easy.
You think easy?
Uh it's a bit of that's why it's a best bet. It's a fun bet, I think. I don't know if it's even the best. Like, it's not the most obvious choice. Like, the Brahmas probably beating the Guardians is probably the best bet, but I can't change it because I already put it out. But like, I was between those two games. But yeah, I think if it was in DC, I'd pick DC by more. I think Vegas by 3 is kind of a big spread. Like, I think they're pretty even teams, you would have to say. Like, to give them a 3-point favorite, I guess since they're at home, I don't know. I wouldn't. That's why I said I'd pick DC to cover.
Yeah, I'm especially I don't know who's coming in at quarterback
Yeah,
for
that's we don't know their quarterback. Like, their offense was good, but then it wasn't good. Like, who
yeah.
knows? Who knows? Like, it depends
I
how they do.
I'm interested to see. I mean, we'll see if Perez is a starter. I mean, I'm probably gonna pick the Defenders in that game just because I like you saw some good stuff from Perez, but you also saw like if you can get some heat in that dude, like he's gonna make some mistakes that are gonna be
Yeah,
critical. So and I
that's what I
think
think.
like Greg Williams will be able
Yeah,
to diagnose him pretty easily.
yeah, agreed.
So all right. Yeah, I pretty much agree with that. The only thing I don't agree on with your pick is the Roughnecks. I mean, the
I like
line's
them
at
to cover.
4. The 4 line, I guess, is pretty
That's
steep.
so. I have them. I think Houston's gonna win. I have that.
Right.
Like, I do my prediction and my bet, but my bet would be Arlington to cover, just because I
It's
think 4 is kind of a lot.
right.
And
It's also week 1 or last week. Like we
yeah,
don't still know that much
exactly.
about these teams. Like they're still
Sure.
really trying to figure themselves out. Like who knows? Maybe like Arlington comes out and figures some things out
Yeah,
this week and could do some
exactly.
things on
Yeah,
offense.
that's what I'm. Yeah, I think it'll be.
But
It's a good week of games. Good test for most of these
like
teams.
that's what I'm saying though. Like week 1 in 2020, we had a pretty good idea of like who were the main contenders and who like were not. Like it was
Yeah,
pretty
I think we
obvious.
do. I think we know. I'll tell
Right.
you who they are.
I don't think dude, I just haven't been inspired by quarterback play
I think
enough to be like
Houston's a contender because of their
who?
division. Houston will be a contender. I think DC's a contender. I
Yeah,
think
but like by
Seattle.
default is what I'm saying. Like
No, no, I
there's only
think
8
DC.
teams in the league.
No, but I think I think the two division team. I think DC or Seattle. Like, that's I said that's a pick 'em, and I think Houston in the South. I think Houston's gonna be in the championship. I'll call that right now.
Okay. Well, like you said, I'm anxious to see the Roughnecks play somebody
Who isn't yet?
who's good. And I don't know if it's that's this week, but
Someone
yeah.
better.
Listen, if you were to put a water gun on my head, I would think defenders and the Battlehawks, are they in or the Dragons, they're in different divisions, correct?
Same division, man.
Oh wow.
That's crazy. The North's crazy, actually. I'm not even kidding. Like, one of those teams is gonna miss the playoffs.
No way, really?
Yes, 2-2. Yes, it's crazy.
That is wild.
That's
Okay.
what I'm saying. I have no idea. I was doing the picks. I didn't realize that till I was picking the winners. I was like, oh shoot, they're all in the same division. I assume they're doing it by division. And
Yeah.
like, the South stinks. I mean, not stinks, but like, Arlington's Vegas is good, but not amazing. Orlando stinks. Like, you don't
Yeah,
even
that's a good point. I definitely think Vegas and I mean
Arlington.
Vegas is gonna be the biggest challenge in Houston, I think, and vice
Yeah, but I
versa.
mean, like, that, like, Vegas and Arlington could be like, they'll be about comparable. I think Vegas is better, but sure. But like, yeah, in the North, like St. Louis, Seattle, DC, like any of those teams could win it that division and then
Yeah.
make it out of there. And
Hey,
have enough.
listen, you're discrediting Arlington. I mean, Arlington came away with a victory this week
No,
too.
I said I think they'll compete with Vegas. I think
Yeah.
them and Vegas will be like right there for that second spot. All right, we've been recording for too long.
Yeah, we
So,
have been.
yeah, I had to upgrade to Zoom Premium during this. All right, well, we'll hop off. Thanks, Coach, for coming on. Be sure to like and subscribe. Let us know down below what you thought of this conversation. If we keep getting enough positive feedback, maybe we'll bring Coach back on. Maybe we'll do it anyway. Always good to talk to you. Thanks for coming.
Always a pleasure, Tommy XFL. Thank you.